So Jim, we're here at the AMROK booth, and it got me thinking. We had a conversation yesterday with Steve Klein from Gardner Intelligence, and one of the things that he told me was that the top shops invest in two things. They invest in the latest tooling, which I got you on that, and they also invest in the latest and greatest work holding. And I'm looking right at it, and I know you just invested in this epoxy tombstone. So tell me about that.
Absolutely, it was like a godsend for us. This epoxy mineral tombstone, we had a problem. We bought a brand new.
You have a problem. Manufacturing is challenging, isn't it?
Manufacturing is challenging. We had a problem. Our customer came to us with a big order. We knew we had to automate the process and make it much more efficient to run. So what we did is we decided to buy these new TRIAG work holding systems to hold the workpiece while we machined it. But the problem was, after we put this and the material on the part in every position, we found out that the cast iron and all of the product exceeded the weight
it was just
of
too
the
heavy.
table.
It was too heavy.
So the good people at AMROK came back to us and said, hey, we can get you an epoxy mineral tombstone. It's 1/3 the weight of the cast iron.
And I know a bonus to it.
What's that?
The vibration dampening.
Vibration dampening, and we all know when you're machining parts,
you don't want that deflection.
You have to keep that deflection to a minimum. You need minimal vibration because the tool's going to break. You're going to get shatter.
You'll have to spend too much money with me if you have too much vibration.
We already spend too much money with you anyway, but this has been an amazing product for us so far, and it is the work holding systems are so multi-functional. You can mount them any way you want, get them in any size you want. You can adjust by these serrations. It's just absolutely fantastic.
So when you got finished with everything, where was your weight when you compared the traditional tombstone with this new epoxy tombstone?
We just made it under the threshold of the maximum weight of the table.
Great.
And if we hadn't had the option for the epoxy tombstone, we would not have been able to do the job that way. Hi, this is Jim from Making Chips. We've got Steve Schuber from AMROK here. Steve, you know I own and operate a precision machine shop in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and we recently tooled up our epoxy tombstones with the TRIAG work holding system. When I was here at the booth yesterday, Alvin was showing me something that was really unique. I was wondering if you could just identify and tell us a little bit about how this jaw articulates based on the like if you have a saw cut that's on a 10-degree angle.
So we're just trying to figure out how to address every challenge that you have with raw material. I mean, of course you have some very clean extruded material that you have no issues with, but with forgings and maybe poorly sawed parts, you have irregular shapes.
Right, like a casting.
Exactly. So, but even just an old saw, somebody has an old saw, they're cutting steel, and they can't cut very perpendicular. Right. This addresses that issue. Along with this particular one as well has these little points in here that kind of bite into the material.
I assume this is tool steel and it's hard too.
Absolutely.
To about what Rockwell?
Probably 60, 62 Rockwell.
Right, perfect.
And we're biting into a very small amount of material here, which allows you to do all this machining, leaving as little material left as possible that of course you would, in the next operation, simply mill off.
Absolutely. It looks fantastic, and what I also like is that you have these features on the side of the jaw where you can create your own stop. Exactly. Another one that I thought was really cool was this magnet. It's so simple.
Yeah, you get it on and off, it's out of the way.
All you need to do is bump up against that. It doesn't need to be a hard stop.
Correct.
And it's so simple. It's adjusted by a simple screw and nut product. It's just fabulous.
Absolutely.
So Steve, you have a new tagline called "Build on the Rock." Can you explain that to me a little bit?
Sure. It's pretty simple. We, basically most fixturing is going to start with a foundation. That foundation would be a tombstone, an AMROK tombstone, or an AMROK base plate or grid plate. It's really that simple. So we're just trying to, kind of articulate with that tagline that, this is where we start, and from there we decide whether or not, do we need to go with something modular to where the customer is able to continue to use that modular work holding on other jobs, or are we in more of a dedicated situation? But it all starts
at the foundation, at the base, just like a house.
On the rock, on the AMROK.
I love it.